Well, I'm very encouraged by the way our team responded over the last few days. We've done very little in the form of physical work on the floor, probably an hour and 10 minutes of practice yesterday. Our walkthrough today, we walked through last night, but I thought that it was very, very important that the players grasp how much better they could play and really understand that the way we played the other night is going to be a recipe for disaster, and we've got to grow up in a hurry. And I thought our guys over the last couple of days absorbed that message, and they retained it throughout the evening. And now will they be able to apply it over a period of time? That's what the key is going to be, because it's not like we got any older the last couple of days. We haven't had any birthdays, but the bottom line is I think they've grown. They saw on film that they could play so much better, and then they came out here tonight and did that. And to a man, everybody improved and took what the game was giving them, and we established, how we wanted to play, and we stuck to it. And I thought we did an excellent job defensively. Again, Benny's team is they're young, and they've got some talent. There's no question about it. And the number one thing they do is execute offensively. I mean, he's committed to a style of play. It's going to be there for him. There's no question about it. But they execute, and we needed to bust up that execution. We needed to make the entries in their sets. We needed to make that hard. And our guys did that. And in the sense of the other night, we really didn't play the game plan very well at all. I don't think we were comfortable with some of the things we were trying to do defensively yet. But that's going to be the way it's going to be for a while with this team. There's no way they can know everything that they have to know. Some of it's going to be by trial and error on the court, figured it out. And we won the game. But tonight we played the game one way for 40 minutes, and I thought that was very hard. It was very competitive. It was great hustle and energy to it, and we established what we wanted to establish. We were going to get the ball in the paint. We were going to get the ball to the basket. We were going to put pressure on the rim, which is going to in turn put pressure on the whistle. And I thought our guys did an excellent job of that. I thought we got a lot of very solid basketball from a lot of different guys. And it showed up in our field goal percentage defenses. It showed up in our rebounding numbers. It showed up in our free throw attempts. It showed up in our points on the paint. And for us, it showed up in the deflections with 69.
Terry?
Coach, a lot of times I think when a game gets out of hand like that, your team could lose focus, but you guys didn't seem to lose focus tonight.
That's a great sign of I'll give you an example, and there's just no way to know. We spent so much time on spacing in Sunday's practice. Probably an hour and 10 minutes of a 2-hour practice was just 5-on-0 spacing. And we got out there Tuesday night and looked like it was our first time together. So, I mean, you never really know with that when they're as young as they are. But the one thing they've been, even the other night, I mean, they continued to play. No one panicked. Tonight they stayed with it. I think they understood the seriousness of how important it was that they continue to get better in the game, and it was working. What they were doing, they were having a lot of success with it in the sense of how they were attacking, how we were getting back defensively, and then that gave us a chance to do some different things defensively as the game went on, because we certainly didn't want to lose any ability to drop our intensity. And I think what's happening is guys are looking around and know that if they're not playing hard enough, there's enough other guys on the bench that you may miss a few reps. And I don't think anybody wants to be in that position. We want our depth to be a strength. We don't want to have to use the bench out of a sign of weakness. We want to use it from a position of strength.
Ken?
Noah gets the double-double, but Troy also almost gets a double-double. How important is that to just have that extra support from the kids?
Well, I think what it says is that we've got a pretty good group of freshmen. And guys like Noah and Troy are not getting the attention that some of the other better freshmen in the country are getting right now. And everybody's earning it. Well, so are these guys. It's Noah's third straight double-double, and it won't be his last. And Troy is just continuing to get better constantly. Troy made as much progress as anybody has from Tuesday to Friday, and they all did. I mean, they all did, because there's so much room to grow in the game mentally and understanding what it takes. And I mean, Luke's still a couple weeks away, I think, from being where he is going to be as a freshman because of all that time that he's missed. Stan is playing hard, but still not where he would be yet, conditioning-wise, for what he would have been for having all those practices. I thought Colin was as shocked as anybody going in first the way that he did, and he came in there and did an excellent job. And that's the way it is. It's play on demand. it's play on demand, and thought he did a very good job in there. Devin continues to be very consistent for us. So there's no question that in the sense of Noah and Troy, those guys, they were recruited the way they were recruited for a reason. They were ranked the way they were for a reason, and they're going to continue to get better and better. And but what they're seeing is they've got to play that way every day. And what I like about those guys, what I like about all our freshmen, is they're out there trying to make sure the team's better. They're not out there trying to do anything for themselves. They're out there trying to make sure that, now, I mean, they're not making mistakes, because they are. I mean, we all are. But they're playing to make the team better, and that's why we love them.
Was it a conscious effort or plan to get Colin in there first just to see how he reacted?
It was just a little bit, but you're never quite sure how it's gonna turn out that way. I want him to be ready. I mean, Colin's a good player. He's working really hard. We've got a lot of guys that can go in and play, and I think what it's showing everybody is that you can't have a couple of days or you can't have really right now. You can't lose your concentration even for a little bit in practice, because there's somebody right there that is ready to grab that spot. And I don't know what our spots are. We don't have a rotation. Right now we're just playing, and we're trying to get our guys to understand how important it is to play hard, how long they have to play. You know, we get on film and just say, you know what, you're giving in too quick to this, you're giving in too quick to that. They take that personal. And but I mean, we're a long ways away from what I would say would be a rotation, and I like it that way.
Terry?
We talked about Hunter the other night, but can you talk about him again tonight? I mean, just in the, I mean, that was quite a dunk there at the end.
Well, he's what you're seeing is what we always think is such a difference maker on anybody, but especially your forwards, and that's your short space quickness. And he is getting so much better. He's getting smarter. He's getting more confident. And when I say smarter, he's got a better understanding of the game. He's in excellent shape. And I mean, this is still a young guy that is walking around in a boot when he's not on the basketball court. I mean, so it's not like he's 100% healthy. But what he's doing is he's really gaining confidence. And I always talk about his footwork. Well, that footwork compounds into the part where he's working in the post. I thought he could have had a couple more dunks tonight. You know, we want Hunter to be a demanding presence. And it starts with the presence before it starts with the verbal part. But we want those demands to be strong. And when he's demanding the ball with his body, when he's demanding the ball with his actions and playing with that kind of aggressiveness and confidence, everybody gets excited about that.
And Yogi with a career high tonight?
Let the game come to him. Yogi had his best game at Indiana thus far. Won't be his last best game, but he let the game come to him. He established it defensively, but you could see it coming. You could see it coming in the way that he absorbed the film on Tuesday. You could see it coming the way he practiced yesterday, the way he's talking in walkthroughs. And slowly but surely, Yogi is figuring out just how good he can be. And that's really important. But he let the game come to him, and then all of a sudden he's just nailing shots and getting to the rim and the whole gamut. But he made the game easier and better for everybody else with this point of attack, pick up on defense. And we played the point guards differently tonight. We played the starter differently than we played the backup. And he adjusted to that very well. But he just continued to play at an extremely high level.
Pete, Tom, just can you talk about what you got from Evan?
Evan was he's got to be ready to shoot. You know, we don't want him being in a situation where he's not down and ready. But he is so fast, and he's got such a low center of gravity, and he can get the ball out in front. And he's really an attack guard. And those are the things that we think he's going to continue to get better and better at. And the shot will come, and the free throws will come, things like that. But he defends at a pretty high level. I think he was one of our leaders, if not the leader in deflections tonight. And he got rebounds, and he got to the rim. And if he makes his free throws, he's got a really big night. So bottom line is, in any situation, he's a very valuable player with the way that he can get to the basket and defend it. With the way the rules are now, he's even that much more valuable.
Second highest point total one of your Indiana teams has scored. Is that kind of tough because Benny was over on the other
No,
bench?
we didn't. No, not at all. I mean, we did a lot of subbing and things like that. I don't even think about that. I mean, we did a ton of subbing. I mean, and we're not a pressing team. No, I don't. Benny, I'm not worried about that at all. I mean, Benny's a warrior. I mean, I know what he's all about. We played everybody, and we were deep into our bench even in the first half. So.
Sean?
Coach, obviously the athleticism of this team is no surprise to anyone at this point, but Don Fisher says on his broadcast it's the most athletic team that he's seen on this court in his time here. Coming from someone with like him, 4 decades of experience watching Indiana basketball, what's that mean to you?
Well, it means that he's got a pretty good view of what he's always had an unbelievable view of what it looks like to win and how to get better. So I take that, he said it to me, I take that as a huge compliment because he knows the game so well. But I think at the same time, he'd be the first to tell you he sees the upside in them too. And I think that's the most important thing. We want them, I think one of the probably as big a crux as we have in our program with the way that we try to recruit and develop is you're going to be developed to your fullest extent as an athlete. You're going to be developed to your fullest extent as a basketball player. If you're a great athlete, well, we're going to make that better, but we're going to really help you become a better basketball player. If you're a very good basketball player, we think we're going to help you with that, but we're also going to help you get better athletically. And there's as much time spent, now obviously there's a lot of natural athletes out there, but I mean, we can always point to, Victor was a pretty extraordinary athlete, and his athleticism just got better and better and better, and it wasn't just the strength, it was so many different areas. So we're as concerned about developing athletes as we are developing, the individual player in his skills. And I think it shows, and that's why I think we've got a lot of upside here.
Coach, quick turnaround. What do you know about Stony Brook?
Well, we know that the people that have seen him, we played him a couple of years ago, they've got some high major players. They've got some players recruited by this league, recruited by the Big East. There's no question that I mean, maybe they might be an up-and-comer nationally, but I think people that coach and follow the game have known Steve could really coach, and that program was coming. People that I've talked to, they've seen them play, they're starting to liken them to the next Gonzaga, the next Butler type of team. And I'll dive into them more tonight. I've seen a little bit. Tim is way into it, but we'll dive in more tonight. But I think they're outstanding, and I think it's going to be a major battle for us because they're older, they're experienced, they know how to play, they've won. They've got very good toughness, and we're going to need every seat filled on Sunday. I mean, there's no question about it. I know the tickets are already sold. Now we need every seat filled because it will be a great battle for our guys. And you'd like to have more time to prepare for it, but we don't have that. Next week we turn around and play Thursday and Friday. So I think it's a great experience for them, but it will be a very tough game. I mean, they score inside, they score outside, they defend, and they're very physical.
Last question.
Coach, 41 free throws attempted tonight. I know that's been a big strength the last 2 years, getting to the line a lot more than the opponent. Just how big of a strength can that be for this team?
But it's got to be in the first line of strengths. It's got to be in the first sentence of the identity, of the team. I mean, it really has to be because we've got a lot of athletes. We've got a lot of guys that can drive the ball straight line. We've got a lot of people that have versatility, and we may not have all the skills down when it comes to the shooting and the passing and the post moves and all that stuff yet. But to attack the rim, attack the backboards, to get out and play and create turnovers defensively, all those things help lead to the free throw line. And I thought the big thing, I mean, the other night we weren't in the bonus until like the 7.5, 8 minute mark. Tonight we're in the bonus at the 15 and a half. So, I mean, we have our goals and when we want to hit the bonus. In the first night and in the third game, we hit it really early. In the second game, we weren't even close to it. I think it showed the way that we played. So, we want to continue to, we don't want last Friday's free throw record to stand very long, to be honest with you. And we keep attacking and driving to the basket and make the next pass and become a team that gets better defensively and doesn't settle, then it won't.
Anything else?